All right, guys, what's going on? I just got over to my buddy's house. Today, we've got to fix his car. He has a valve cover gasket that is leaking oil all over his header pipe. So it's pretty common. He's got a 2007 Acura TL Type S. So on these cars, it's pretty common for the motors to get hot and those gaskets to wear out pretty bad. So we're gonna get in there, change out all the gaskets. We're also gonna do coils, plugs, and of course change the oil and oil filters. So it should be a little pretty interesting deal. I'm hoping it doesn't rain too bad and we can get it done before it gets too dark. All right, so now we drain the oil in it so that we can take these caps off. We've got to remove 4 8mm bolts holding this airbox on. This hose is prone to being brittle, so we're going to use the extreme caution with this to try to move it off. And we're going to unplug these once at a time so that it's easy. See, like that already just gave. It's just old plastic, plus it got hot. So once we move, it's hard to see. Let me see, we got another light. There's one right there, there, and there. I forgot to mention while working on this, down here underneath there's a power cable that runs through. There's 2 clips. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's 2 clips, one here and one further behind it, that you've got to get a pick or a flathead and actually pop this out so that you can move this cable out of the way, so this box will come free and we can move it. But we got to get the pick real quick so we can get it out. All right, so after a lot of heartache to get this out, 4 screws to get this stupid airbox cover off. Hold that. This little thing broke on us, which is pretty common. We're gonna try to find a fix for it, but it's just, it was on here so tight you couldn't do anything but get it off. But now you have to work your way from right to left. So once we remove this, now we have to remove the throttle body, unplug everything, vacuum hoses, take the 12 bolts off the top, 9 bolts on the center, and then this can come off and we can finally get to the valve covers. All right, I'm gonna break loose all 4 of the bolts.
Oh, that might be tightening it.
It could be tightening for the throttle body. The throttle body also needs to be cleaned a little bit. You can see like the carbon right around here. So we're gonna clean it when we get it off. So as we put everything back, we're gonna clean as we go. But the tedious thing is the box. So make sure y'all take y'all's time when doing the box. We're already having to order a new tubing because our hose, when we took it off, the hose is already cracked, the part that connects to this. So we'll order another tubing and attach it to the box and it should be all fine. What we're gonna do to pop this cover off now that we got the bolts done is we're gonna put a big screwdriver right here, right under this little point, and we're gonna pry up nice and slow like. Nice and slow. And there it is, boom. It opens up the seal.
Do it on that end.
Yeah, do it on that side just in case. You can do it on the other point as well. There you go. There you go, boom. Now it should. We got this one little plug. You gotta try to be gentle with all these plugs. I try to get them off. I'm trying to do it with one hand, but boom, right there. Now the top, you can go ahead and pull that top off. That should be able to come off. Be careful, there's a gasket in there. So we'll just have to make sure the gasket fits back on there.
It's stuck on it.
Yep, hold on. Put the gasket like this. We're gonna go nice and slow because this one's actually in good shape. Lift it up a little bit more. Perfect. So all we're gonna do is when we go to put this back together, we're gonna clean this up with some brake cleaner and line this gasket back up, make sure it's all nice and snug. We also have some liquid gasket we're gonna put on a couple little spots to make sure everything stays snug and tight in this top piece. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 bolts inside here, and we'll be able to lift this off. But first, we've got to unplug this connector. There's this hose, this little small hose. This one you got to be super careful with because you can tear this one. This front hose up here has got to be removed. And then right here, it's a little hard to see, but this bolt and then this one right underneath it has to come off so that that piece disconnects from this top housing. All right, we can take it off now. Just be careful. Now you want to lift it even. All right, we got to take this gray rail off. So we're going to unplug all the coil packs. Unpluggy. Come on. And then there's two little clips right here that you just peel back and they come off. This one right there. So now we got to figure out, I think we might just take this off because I don't want to bust that clip because I don't know if you can tell, but the piping's already pretty brittle right here. So I think we're just going to take this bolt off so that we can give some room for this. All right, so as we took the harness off and pulled it back, we realized the reservoir right here has to be removed in order to get enough room to get this last coil pack out. So just remember that when you take this out, the reservoir's got to come out. And then we zip tied this back so that it stays out of our way. Now we got 5 bolts holding it in, and we'll be able to pull this cover off.
What am I going to push
All right.
against?
If you give another screwdriver, I'll go from this side.
Yeah, you're gonna want to pry there,
There's one.
But I mean, like, what
and
am
then
I
yeah,
gonna
there's a
push?
good little spot there.
Here, James.
Yeah, just right there. You can use that bolt as leverage. You might want to start. Let's start on the other side. Start on this side. Get a little pry to it. Break nothing. It's just not wanting to come, is it? Yeah, it is. It's up. Is it up? There we go. All right, James, grab it with 2 hands. Pull it off. Shoo-wee. And there we are. There's your old gasket. Yep, old gasket. We're gonna need to take some brake cleaner to that. That thing needs to be cleaned. There's your old gasket. Well, we need a spot, don't we? Doesn't look too bad though. Looks pretty good in there. Cleaning off a little bit of gunk right there. Yeah, see, it was pushing out right here.
Yeah, you can see.
So right here you can see I can literally move part of the gasket with my finger. We're gonna have to clean that off, wipe all that up, because this is where it was leaking down. Let's see, is it brittle?
No.
So it was just in that one spot it was given, yeah, right there. Toss it in the trash. All right, so right now James is cleaning out this valve cover. But in a second, we're gonna take a pick, and each of these need to be replaced. This is all hard and junky. We're gonna take this pick, and you wanna take it from about the inside and kind of work your way in and pry it out. I'm not gonna be able to do it with one hand, but I'm gonna let James work his magic. You're gonna work it from the inside. We're replacing these, so it's okay if these mess up. All right, this might happen to y'all, but these were so cooked in here that we actually had to take a hammer and a pick and drive them in and then lever them out because they just wouldn't come in. They were just cooked in, and all the innards broke off when we tried to pry. So just in case it happened to y'all, I just wanted to show y'all. So we're just gonna clean these up. We're gonna lube up the new ones, put them in, and then we should be able to put this cover back on, and we're gonna check the rear to see if it's leaking, but we may just do this one for now, just because it's getting late, and maybe do the next one tomorrow or something like that. All right, I'm gonna line this up in here.
How tight is it supposed to be?
Don't look like it goes too good right there. Is this one tight over here, not going?
Yeah,
I bet it needs to be flipped. Flip it around.
Please fit it, please fit. Oh, thank God.
It only goes on one way.
Thank God.
This tab right here. You got some shears? I'm not sure why this gasket has this tab here, but we're gonna take some shears and cut that off.
Might be an important being.
You think so?
It might like extend out when you put it back on the block.
Yes.
You never know.
Yeah.
This right here, the old one?
Let's leave it.
It's got a tab. It's still got a tab.
Yeah, it's got a tab on it, so we'll leave it for now.
The tab.
He got lucky. All right, just so everybody knows, down in here, when you put those new seals in, you want to take a small flathead and you want to push that rubber around that bushing, because if not, like when we set it on, these two set pretty good, but this last one didn't want to slide on, so you just had to push this in around there all nice and gently. It'll go on. So since we changed the gasket, we're going to change the spark plugs and coil packs too. And look at how bad these plugs are. So they definitely need to be changed. So we're going to change these up, put new coil packs on. We're almost done. It's coming to an end. Real close. All right, so right now we're putting the bolts back on the top of this. And from everything that we've read, it requires 8.9 foot-pounds. So that's what we're gonna do. And if we still feel like it's a little bit loose, we might go maybe up to 10, but I'm trying not to go that far. But I believe 8.9 from all the forums say 8.9, so that's what we're gonna do. So, as we were finishing up, and James was torquing, the good old valve cover bolt decided to break. Literally almost all the way in. If it focused, you could see it. So, there's gonna have to be a part 2 to us finishing this. It was literally the last one. We're gonna have to take this off and figure out how we're gonna get that out. That's gonna be tricky.
I can't wait for part 2.
But part 2's coming, I guess. So I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and keep following, because
Donate.
this thing's a heap and we've got to fix it now. We'll see you.